For years, they were hidden, locked away behind sealed court orders, redactions, and legal silence. Millions of pages connected to one of the most disturbing criminal cases in modern American history. A case that involved power, wealth, influence, and abuse. In early 2024, many of those documents were finally unsealed. Almost instantly, headlines exploded, social media filled with names, accusations spread faster than explanations. But amid the noise, one critical question was ignored. What does unsealed actually mean? Because unsealed does not mean proven, and documents do not equal verdicts. Tonight, we are not chasing shock value. We are not chasing rumors. We are examining what the Epstein Files actually reveal, and what still remains hidden. This is a document-based investigation. Welcome to the Unsealed. Chapter 1. The Myth of the Epstein File. The phrase, the Epstein Files, creates a powerful illusion. It suggests a single explosive document, a secret list, a final reveal. But that image is false. There is no single file called the Epstein Files. What exists instead is a massive collection of materials released across nearly 2 decades. Court filings, civil lawsuit exhibits, FBI investigative notes, depositions, email records, flight logs. Some were public years ago, others remained sealed until recently. When people misunderstand this, they assume the documents were hidden because they prove guilt. In reality, most were sealed for procedural reasons: victim protection, ongoing litigation, privacy of third parties, grand jury secrecy. Understanding this distinction is essential, because misunderstanding the files leads to false conclusions and false accusations.
Chapter 2: What the Epstein Files actually are. Legally speaking, the Epstein Files are records of investigation, not findings of guilt. They show what authorities examined, what lawyers argued, what witnesses claimed. They do not represent final judgments. In the U.S. justice system, documents are raw material. They must be tested, challenged, verified. Unsealing documents does not bypass that process. It simply allows the public to see the material that once remained restricted. Transparency, not conviction, is the purpose of unsealing. That difference matters, especially in a case this emotionally charged. Chapter 3. What was actually unsealed? So what changed when these documents were unsealed? Several things became clearer. Previously redacted names labeled John Doe or Jane Doe were revealed. Civil deposition transcripts became fully public. Flight logs were released without masking. Contact lists were reviewed in broader context. These documents confirmed one major reality: Jeffrey Epstein moved freely within elite social, political, and academic circles. They demonstrated access, proximity, repeated interaction. What they did not establish was criminal responsibility for most of the people mentioned, and that difference is where much of the public discussion goes wrong. Chapter 4. Why so many powerful names appear. This is the most misunderstood aspect of the Epstein Files. A name appearing in a document can mean many things: a witness repeating a rumor, a lawyer recording a claim, an investigator documenting a contact, a social interaction without criminal context. In legal terms, mention is not accusation, and accusation itself is not proof. The Epstein Files show association. They do not automatically demonstrate wrongdoing. Collapsing those distinctions may feel emotionally satisfying, but it undermines credibility, fairness, and justice itself. Responsible analysis requires restraint, and restraint is rare when outrage goes viral. Chapter 5. What remains sealed? 11:20 to 13:10 minutes. Despite massive releases, significant materials remain sealed. Some always will be. Grand jury records are permanently protected under federal law.
Certain intelligence-related communications remain restricted. Complete financial transaction trails have never been fully disclosed, and many victim-related records remain sealed to protect privacy and prevent re-traumatization. This absence of total transparency frustrates the public, but secrecy does not automatically equal conspiracy. In many cases, it reflects legal safeguards, even when those safeguards feel deeply unsatisfying. Chapter 6. The real significance of the files, 1320 to 1430 minutes. If these documents do not deliver clear verdicts, why do they matter? Because they expose systemic failure. They show missed warnings, delayed action, institutional hesitation. They reveal how influence can slow accountability, and how abuse can continue when silence is allowed to persist. This case was never only about one man. It was about a system that failed repeatedly. Conclusion. What comes next? 1430 to 1530 minutes. The files have been opened, but the story is far from over. Transparency is not justice, and documentation is not accountability. In the episodes ahead, we will examine how Jeffrey Epstein avoided prosecution, how legal systems failed victims, and why power so often escapes consequence. We are not here to accuse. We are here to analyze what the documents show and what they do not. This is the Unsealed, and this is only the beginning.